Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League's Dungeonbowl. We're in week number 2 of 9 here in the final open competition of the season, and we've got a double header tonight. Zayas, Bad Dog, SP Beaver, Festoon, Von Roo, Ajax, The Riot, Boot Polish, hey, Squiggy McSquig. Welcome all to the stream. We got game number 1 to get underway right now, and it is going to be the Wasabazons versus Conspicuous Disunion, Warhorsemen versus Chime. We've got Amazons versus Necromantic Horror. Cease, welcome to the stream. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at the two teams up tonight in game number 1. In Division A, at the end of week number 1, sitting on top of the division, the Spitespire Snipers, coached by Squig, a Wood Elf team. They won 4-0 last week. In second place, it's a tie between Odin and Snuffle and the Fishy Fiends, coached by Clypheus and Ajax, respectively. The first one's a Norse team, the second one's a Renegades team. They each won their game in week number 1, 2-0. Over in Division B at the top of the leaderboard, hey, look at that. It's Technobabble Inc. tied with the Arlington Nationals. Technobabble Inc., my team, a human team, winning their game in week 1, 2-0. The Arlington Nationals winning their game as well. They're an undead team. B-Dog's undead team, to be exact. They won their game 2-0. And in third place is, in my opinion, the GOAT, Electric Man Skaven team. They won last week as well. And over in Division C at the top of the leaderboard, MAML Nightmare, coached by Festoon, a Necro team, tied with the Philosopher's Song, coached by Spire, a Lizard team. And in third place, the Discomancers, coached by Ian, also a Necro team. SP Beaver says, wait, is that a human team at the top? What's going on here? The home team this evening will be the Wasabazons, 12 on the roster, all of them starting tonight. That's going to bring their team value to 1,230,000 gold. They have 2 blockers, 2 throwers, 2 blitzers, and a bunch of line women, 1 apothecary, 4 dedicated fans, and 3 rerolls. SP Beaver says, I bet Ava didn't draw on the screen for his own game. Fun fact, I did not. I did not. They're gonna be up against Conspicuous Disunion. They're a Necro team. They're coming in with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the roster tonight. All of them starting. That brings their TV to 1,410,000 gold. That means 180,000 gold in petty cash will be going back to the Amazon team this evening. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. They have the 2 flesh golems. They have both wraiths. They have both 2 ghoul runners, 2 werewolves, and zombie linos round out this roster. 4 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. How are these two teams going to play it this evening? Let's take a look at the away team first. This Necro team, right, coached by Chime. Chime, the runner-up of last season, losing out to Cenozoic Park. That's right, in the championship game. This team, these 4 players down here at the bottom, these are the important ones to watch out for. All these positionals are great, but these 4 down here, these are the ball carriers on this roster. They have the speed and the agility to carry the ball. The Wraiths have the agility, but they just don't have hands. The zombies, their agility is not great. They don't have a lot of speed. Same for the flesh golems as well. So these 4 players down here are the ones that are going to have targets on their back. They're going to be the ball carriers for sure, but also these werewolves could be a big part of this roster as well. The werewolves have Claw that treats everybody's AV as an 8+. They have Frenzy, that means they're going to get extra block dice. One of them's a blodger. That's the Black Knight, Mr. Wickles, wearing number 16 this evening. Only a pal's going to knock down Mr. Wickles. The flesh golems with the strength of 4 and stand firm. They both have guard. They're very, very solid control pieces. There's a kicker on the roster with the Witch Doctor. There's a dirty player in Sea Beast. These wraiths are great blitzers as well. You'll see these werewolves blitz a lot with AV of 8. But maybe not so much tonight up against the frail Amazon team. The Wraiths, however, have block. They have foul appearance. They have sidestep. Both have picked up guard. One has picked up tackle. In fact, this tackle piece is going to be a very, very instrumental piece in tonight's matchup. Block plus sidestep means they can stay where they want to be, right? They can always be in your way, provided they don't get knocked down. Foul appearance means you might not even get a chance to knock them down. You'll be so disgusted by their appearance, you don't want to touch them. So lots of very, very good positionals on this roster up against this Amazon team tonight. The Werewolves will be putting in work. That Wraith will tackle, will be putting in a lot of work. Those Flesh Golems are going to have to be the anchors on the formations to keep Conspicuous Disunion's formation intact. They're going to have to spread out wide against these Amazons. That's a good idea. That's a good general advice. But if these Amazons are able to get around that Necro formation, they're going to put a lot of pressure on this team with a lot of dodge across the board and a lot of speed. We've seen War Horsemen play very, very aggressively on defense as well. So Chime almost certainly keeping that in mind as he goes up against this Amazon team. What are these Amazons going to do against this Necro team? We talked about targeting those Ghoul Runners. We talked about targeting the Werewolves. But look at this, right? Amazons have dodge all the way across the board. They have the speed advantage in this matchup. Well, they don't have the fastest players in this matchup. The Werewolves are the fastest players in the matchup, but across the board, right? They have a lot of speed. Remember, those linemen and those Flesh Golems are only a strength of 4. War Horseman can get more players where he wants them to be than the opposing team, so they have a speed advantage in that regard. But really, look at this. 4, 5, 6 blodgers in this matchup with only 1 opposing player with tackle. Blodge says, but what blodge means is when we say blodge, we mean it's a player with block and a player with dodge. These are probably the 2 most important skills in the game of Blood Bowl. If you have block and you have dodge, there is 1 die face that is going to knock you down. That's the PAL. Unless you have something else that can mitigate that, such as the tackle skill. Tackle negates dodge. That's a very important skill in a matchup like this where everyone has dodge. With just 1 tackle player, the Wasabazons can get a little more aggressive, right? War Horseman can really lean into his play style and go after this team and try to murder a few players. They don't want to dodge away all day long like they're elves. They don't have the agility for that. But if they could get in with a blodger who's very hard to knock down already, they can get a 2-die block. They can start applying pressure. These Piranha Warriors here are both blodgers. They both have hit and run. They both have jump up. Jump up means if they get knocked down, they're not spending 3 MA to stand back up. They have all 7 MA. Hit and run says if they take a block, they get a free point of movement so long as they don't mark somebody when they move. That means they can advance for free. That means they can retreat for free. Very, very key players in this matchup. And again, with those 6 blodgers, the Wasabazons can afford to really get in the face of this Necro team, really aggressively hunt those Ghoul Runners, hunt those Werewolves, try to get them off the pitch. If they can do that, they win tonight. 180K in petty cash for the inducement phase. That might be a star player. It's not enough for Dribble and Drool, but it may be a Helmet Wolf. I honestly think for my money, though, I might pick up a Wizard. A Wizard's never a bad pickup at all. For 150K, you pick up the Wizard. You can threaten the Fireball, which means your opponent's not going to want to cage up with a tight cage. They're going to keep that cage a little loose, which can lean into that aggressive playstyle. But also it means you can leverage Zap. If you can zap one of those Werewolves, for example, turn that Werewolf into a frog and then stick a cleat in the frog's legs, that frog's off the pitch. You don't have to worry about that Werewolf anymore for the rest of the game. So that may be an option for War Horsemen as well tonight. All right, enough of my yammering. We're going to see if these coaches are ready to go. It looks like indeed they are. We're going to get game 1 of our doubleheader underway here tonight. Looks like we're going to have clear skies to start the game. Lots of fans out in the game this evening. 4 dedicated fans for each coach. Dedicated fans, what's the word I want? They're used for determining how much money you earn per game. So having a lot of dedicated fans is really important to build up your treasury so you can hire more players, especially when you start to lose them. Identical coaches. Fan factor of 7 and 6. That's a lot of money to pick up here tonight. 180K going to the Wasabazons. 220K. Somebody dropped somebody And now things are very, very different now for the Wasabazons. 220K means they can pick up Dribble and Drool. That the dual star players here, these are skinks. They're an MA of 8 that can compete with the werewolves. One is a fowler, one is a stabber. You can see Dribble here with sneaky git and dirty player. Drool, of course, with the stab skill. The calculus has changed significantly here. He's going to pick up a... Whoa! Picking up a bribe and a keg instead. They're not picking up any star players, not picking up a wizard, going for the bribe, going for the keg, going for the assistant coach, still has 50K left. Backing that out now. All right, might be choosing something else. Has some options here with star players. Bad Dog says, Dribble and Drool are a solid pair if used correctly. Spider says, stab the Wraiths! It's gonna be Anky Panky instead. So for 190K, picking up Anky Panky and a cheerleader. So going for the strength in that Saurus. Well done, Cease. Here's the coin toss. Wasabazons win the coin toss. They're probably going to be on offense. Oh, boy, look at that. Look at that. It is very sunny, so that means it's a -1 to all passing here in the game this evening, provided the weather doesn't change. Don't think we're going to see too much passing, but we could. We certainly could. Maybe not with the sun in their eyes. The Wasabazons choose not to be on offense first. They're going to choose to be on defense first. Maybe setting up here and considering that they're pretty frail here with AV8 across the board, save for Anky Panky, the star player. And trying to mount their strongest defense, guaranteeing that they have 11 to take to the pitch. They do have 2 in reserve here. If they would have gone on offense first, that meant they could have started punching first, right? The offensive team gets the first turn in the half. And they could have started trying to remove some of these players from the Necro team. McMackey, welcome to the stream. McMackey says Dribble and Drool have pretty much DP +2, which is obscene. I agree. I think it's a great pickup for 190K. Wasabazons setting up, let's call that a wide anchor here. So no, they have 2 outer, well, I'm not going to call those linebackers. I'm going to call those cornerbacks. So they have 2 corners, no linebackers here. 3 on the line, including the star player Anky Panky wearing number 13, and 6 behind those 2 corners. Now the offense to set up. 3 on the line for them. Remember, these flesh golems are strength of 4. They have stand firm. If they get pushed, they don't have to go anywhere. SP Beaver wants the Telestrator of Doom. I think it's a little early for the Telestrator of Doom, don't you think? Festoon says, based on Varag info today, I think we'll see all the +2 gone in the new edition. I haven't checked out any of the new info yet. I've been working all day. It's never too early. Is it ever too early? Four on the line now. Now back to 5 on the line for Conspicuous Disunion. They're going to try to block down this line, including Anky Panky. Anky Panky with an AV of 10. What is Anky Panky's ability? Savage Blow. Reroll any number of block dice when he performs a block action. Not bad at all. So Anky Panky. All-star players have some sort of star player ability. For Anky Panky, it's called Savage Blow. And once per game, he can reroll any number of block dice. So it's like a super brawler. Two back to receive. That's the 2 Ghoul Runners with an MA of 7. Both are blodgers as well. Here's the kick. No kicker for the Amazons. Onside kick, and it's a timeout right to the 2-yard line over in the right wide zone. It is not a touchback. Turn 2 for Conspicuous Disunion. Would have been turn 1, but we have the timeout. That means both teams lose a turn here to start the game. It's going to be a 7-turn half. McMackey says Anki gives the wolves something to claw. Indeed. So claws on the werewolf. Both werewolves have claws that treats everybody's armor value as if it's an 8+. On an Amazon team where everybody's armor value is already an 8+, that skill is not really very useful. But against Anki Panky, it is. AV 10+, fairly resilient. Up against werewolves, not so much. Conspicuous Disunion taking a mark against Blunder, the number 8 line woman. Going to take blocks before trying to pick this ball up, but positioning players around the ball first. This is a good action order here, but here's the blitz. Got the pal, has to follow up due to frenzy. Breaks armor to start the game. Got the removal. Very well done. 1-man player advantage for Conspicuous Disunion. Oh no, fails to dodge the safety. That is a turnover. The Wolf's going to stay on the pitch. Couldn't dodge away. Had to follow up there due to frenzy. Good removal, but the Wolf's going to be knocked down. Got rid of the number 8 line woman here on the right side of the pitch. Squiggy McSquig says this is very difficult to watch. My 2 least favorite teams to play as and against. Kind of hoping both coaches carry what's left of their team home in a bucket. Cobblestorm, welcome to the stream. Cobblestorm demanding death. I can't believe the Amazons are going in on the ball. Oh, scary, scary stuff. All right, the Wasabazons setting up columns here. So if you're unfamiliar with Blood Bowl or Blood Bowl tactic, what he's doing here is he's exerting tackle zones with these columns, right? So every piece exerts a tackle zone in each of the 8 adjacent spaces that player. Diagonals are considered adjacent. So with these columns here, this whole area here is secured. If a player comes in on a blitz, knocks down a player, there's still tackle zones here to close the gap and not allow a lane to open up. That's right, Telestrator of Doom, now officially in effect. Well, Wasabazons not fighting for the ball, playing it very, very cautiously. Both downs going to be a turnover. Teal versus Pink in this first game of our doubleheader this evening. Turn 3 back to Conspicuous Disunion. Coming up after this game, scheduled for 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. So that's about an hour 20 minutes from now. We're going to have game number 2 of our doubleheader this evening. It will be the Rockettes versus Napanee Nightmare. 2 brand new coaches to the league. Real Human versus Proud Star. That's going to be Dwarves versus Chaos. Dwarves versus Chaos Chosen. That's coming up in game 2 here this evening. Got the pal here. Really wanted to push for the surf. So if you're brand new to Blood Bowl, the way this game works, it's fantasy football, but the fantasy is high fantasy. The fantasy is werewolves and zombies and elves and humans and golems duking it out on the field here. This is a board game. This is a video game representation of the board game, so we can play with people around the world. And generally what's happening is you're trying to get the ball from your side of the field to the opposing side of the field to score a touchdown. Whoever scores the most wins the game. Every player on the pitch here has one of 6 actions they can do with very few exceptions. And that's what this That's what this little bar down here represents. So there are two normal or regular actions you can take. That's this one right here, a standard activation, the game calls it. You can either move your player, and you can move them up to their movement allowance. That's the MA right here. These little exclamation points. Once the block happens here, I'll show those again. Chime deciding. Oh, Anky Panky deciding where to grab the Witch Doctor. So these little exclamation points here, you can move up to 2 additional spaces than your movement allowance. That's called rushing. For each one of those spaces, you roll a d6. On a 1, you trip and fall, and that is the end of your turn. In this game, whenever you fail a die roll, with very few exceptions, that is the end of your turn. It's called a turnover naturally, and so that means one of the tactics you need to learn very quickly, or one of the first tactics you need to learn, is luck mitigation. You want to learn action order. You want to do your least risky actions first and your most risky actions last. That way you can activate as many players as possible without risking a turnover where you've only activated 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 players. That's a movement action. A block action is if you are adjacent to someone here, you can roll the block dice and try to knock them to the ground. And then these 4 here, these are once per turn activations here. One player per turn can do any one of these 4 things, and the same player can't do more than one of these, right? So 4 players can each do one of these actions, one of which is a blitz. A blitz is a movement and a block all combined into one. It's just the block counts as your movement, or counts as a point of movement. So if you want to block somebody on a blitz, you spend 1 MA to your block, and you can move before and or after the block, right? Provided you have movement remaining. This one's a foul. If somebody's on the ground, you can stomp on their face and try to get them off the pitch, but you have to be careful. You might get called off by the ref. You can pass. That is the most risky action in Blood Bowl. You don't see it too often. And then, of course, you have the handoff, which is exactly what it sounds like. You just hand the ball off to the adjacent player. There's the blitz on the werewolf. Great stun here by the Wasabazons. The ball's going to end up 1 space to the left on the opposing 4-yard line. And now the Wasabazons fighting for that ball. Bad Dog says the exclamation point signals certain death. Don't try it. He says the exclamation point gets rotated 90 degrees to become a tripwire. Electric Man says, I thought picking up the ball was the most difficult play. Sometimes. Sometimes. Minute 10 left on the clock here for Conspicuous Disunion. It's top of the 4th turn. Onside kick after the blitz with the werewolf. They weren't able to really secure the ball, and now the defense fighting for it just a little bit. They only have 1 mark on the ball. Here's the blitz against Black Moon. The Black Knight, Mr. Wiggles on the blitz. Frenzy follow-up. This will not be a surf. No armor break, has to follow up due to Frenzy. The Frenzy skill says once you take a block action, if it results in a push, you must follow up and take another block. Good surf there, setting up that werewolf into position for the surf. On the follow-up block here by Count Evalo von Meanskrieg. Very well done. Two-die blitz just needed the push to surf the player. So when you block a player, good 50-50 pickup and a dodge away. A dodge in, 50-50 pickup, dodge away. Well done. The ball recovered by the offense once again in the hands of Hodag the Horror, the level 3 ghoul runner. Moves the ball forward to the opposing 8-yard line. when you take a block in the game of Blood Bowl, you saw those dice rolled right there, the ones with the icons on them. That is, those are the block dice. So let's say I'm here and my opponent is here. I can block him, right? Looks like a little dead guy. When you block them, you roll dice, and the number of dice, you can roll 1 to 3 dice. It's going to depend on your comparative strength. So if you look at the Flesh Golem here, Captain Cutler, he has a strength of 4 versus a strength of 3. 4 beats 3, so that is 2 dice in favor of the Flesh Golem. 2 dice will be rolled, and the team that this Flesh Golem is on gets to choose which of those 2 dice will be the dice in effect. If it were the other way, Captain Cutler were blocking Melisende here, and Melisende had the strength of 4, and Captain Cutler was the strength of 5. It's still 2 dice. It's just the Amazon coach would decide which die roll, or which die to select. If the strengths are equal, it's just 1 die. If one side has more than double the strength of the other side, you roll 3 dice. You can get effectively extra strength with assists by your teammates. So I'm going to draw again. I'm just going to murder everyone tonight. 2 die blitz. Not going to cut it. It'll be a push. Well, he might just keep the both standing result. Keeps the both standing result. The ball's going to stay right where he is. Does not decide to hit and run. The hit and run trait allows the blitzer here to get 1 free space of movement after a block, provided that that space is not marking an opposing player. When you block, let's say you block, right? We're going to block this way again. If that block results in a push, one of the 3 spaces behind the player you just blocked is where they get pushed to. So when we talk about a surf, right? Let's say I'm here. My opponent is here. The 3 spaces behind the opponent are these 3 spaces. There's nowhere for that opponent to go except off the pitch. That's a crowd surf. What happened on the right side here was he set up a situation where this was, well, that should be an X. That was covered by a teammate. That's who he wanted to block. Here's where he came from. He came in this direction. These 3 spaces were the ones directly behind. This was filled, so the only place to go was off the pitch. Mouse of death. Good 3+ dodge out of the left wide zone. Rushes into position to take a mark on Deacon Carlswell. Turn at 5 for Conspicuous Disunion. Just like that, we're in the second quarter of this game. Heavy pressure by the defense. The offense still hanging on to this ball. Standing up those 2 wraiths. 2-die block against Elian gets a push out of this. Lots of blodgers on the pitch this evening. The block skill, that's that blue hand. The block skill means the both down result, which is it's the off face here. I don't know if you can see it. That's safe for you. You're not going to get knocked down on the both down result. And the dodge makes the defender stumbles result safe for you as well. It results in a push. So if you have block and dodge, there's only a single face on that die that can knock you down. That's that starburst, that PAL symbol. Gutter runners are fast. Gutter runners are really fast. And I could talk about that. They're deceptively fast. But I think that largely has to do with the fact that it's a square board rather than like X's or something. 2-die blitz against Elian. Gets a push here. Has to follow up due to frenzy. 2-die follow-up. Got the PAL here. Looking for an 8+. No armor break. War Master demanding death. He says, I get the feeling if I can talk about anything. I think that is probably true. Conspicuous Disunion on the bonus clock. You get 2 minutes of time before your turn is up, but if you run out of time, it's not a problem. You have an additional bonus clock of 7 minutes 30 seconds to spend throughout the duration of the game. That's right. That's right. I may be full of shit, but I'll talk about it. 2-die block spends a reroll here to get a push. Conspicuous Disunion down to 2 rerolls for the half. Turn 5, back to the Wasabazons. So speaking of talking about anything, my PB Mutt. Yeah, I said it twice too. I don't know why. But speaking of talking about anything, my Atari Game Station Go arrived today. I'm very excited. It's a little portable device that by the time I'm done with it will have every Atari game ever made on it. It has a bunch, but what's neat about it is that it has almost every Atari input on it. So it has a number pad, it has a paddle, it has a trackball, and it has a D-pad. Plus face buttons and shoulder buttons and things. Massive scrum forming around the ball over in the left wide zone. Gets the knockdown. The knockdown? The knockdown on Cuthbert Crawls. Pretty good armor break here. Doesn't have to worry about that blitzer for a little while. And now the 2-die blitz on the ball carrier. Got the pal. Very well done by War Horseman. Oh! Ha, ha! Oh! Very good setup for the blitz here by the Wasabazons. They get the knockdown on the ball carrier. Hodag of Horror didn't get an armor break. The ball fumbles out of the hands of the ball carrier into the hands of Big Bob Oakley. The werewolf needed a 6 to catch the ball. And he's like, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Got a KO here off camera. There's the knockdown. Good recovery by the Wolf. Another KO scored by the Wasabazons back at the line of scrimmage. Nice handoff, that's right. Hey, Jackson Ryan says that Wolf was never worried. He's a pro, he's got this. Turn 6 for Conspicuous Disunion. Jammed up over in the right wide zone, trying to find a way to break free. Always a risk when you commit to a wide zone. Hey, Jackson Wright says, this is his time to shine. Rookie of the week on the line, that's right. Two-die block against Black Moon. Gets a push out of this. Chain push. Trying to clear away for this werewolf. Just trying to get the defense off of him. Look at this uphill block. Just needs a push here. That'll do it. Very well done. Very, very well done. And the armor break to boot. Very well done by Chime on the uphill block to the chain surf. Uphill blocks, the opponent got to choose the block dice, but all he needed was a push. He got it, pushes to the right side, breaks armor on top of that. By pushing to the right side, the player on the sideline had nowhere to go but off the pitch. The Black Knight, Mr. Wickles on the blitz. Very well done. Wow! 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 I am speechless. What an inventive play. So the Wolf in big time danger here on the sideline. Chimes says, all right, well, I'm going to punt this ball backwards. Passes the ball back behind the line of scrimmage. But now the Ballista in danger of grabbing this ball. Electric Man says, picking your opponent's pal is a horrible, it's a horrible feeling. Two-die blitz. Gets the knockdown. This frees up the Ballista to try to pick the ball up. It's going to be a 3+ on the ball pickup. Finishes with the blitzer, taking a mark against Hodag of Horror. Trying to get some tackle zones behind the Necro team before picking up this ball. 3 re-rolls. Didn't need a single one of them. What? The dodge? The dodge! That had to have been an error. The dodge is the way to the opposing 12-yard line. But still very much in range of the caveman, the number 6 zombie lineman. Gets a push, but will grab him to the side, and now I think he's just out of range. Nope, still in range. Another mark taken on the downfield. Wolf turn 7 for Conspicuous Disunion. They started the half on offense on the onside kick. Lost the ball due to a werewolf blitz where he had to follow up due to frenzy. Tried to dodge away, failed to dodge. The defense played it coy for a turn, and then they pounced on that ball, were able to recover. Now they're looking to go up 1-0 if they can hold on to this ball for one more turn. Two-die blitz by Big Bob Oakley. Got the POW here against Melisende. Breaks armor. It's nothing out of it. Big Becky says he ate the blitz to prevent someone from getting surfed. Oh, yeah. Sure did. Two-die block against the Ballista. There's 2 Melisendes, aren't there? Gets a push out of this. Caveman's got a 50-50 dodge and then a rush to take a mark on the blocker. .30 seconds ago in turn 7 for Conspicuous Disunion. Hanging on to 1 re-roll. In the game of blood. Oh! Ain't no thing for Count Ivalo von Meadskrieg. Used to be a vampire before dying and playing for Conspicuous Disunion. He lives in a giant castle. Do you think you can live in a giant castle and not be able to be nimble and quick? Those stairs are huge. You don't want to fall down and tumble down 80 flights. Used to be an elf. Get dodging like that, no doubt. Two-die block back in no man's land. Gets a push here against Tom Zarek. Frenzy follow-up. This would be another dodge push here. There's that 50-50. Oh no! He lost a leg already! Now he's lost his other one. Oh, never mind, he regened. Turn 7 for the Wasabazons. Wasabazons marked by Count Ivalo von Meanskrieg. Oh no! Oh, started with the dodge away! Oh, I would have blocked the ghoul runner away, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rush. Couldn't get away. That is a null turn on the turnover. Now, Conspicuous Disunion with an opportunity to increase the odds in their favor with more removals. Unfortunately, got nothing out of the surf. 2-die block against Ruby, the number 12 line woman, also a blodger. Another surf here, very well done. We'll see if this sticks. Yes, indeed it did. Very well done. The first injury of the day against Eliane Ruby, the number 12 line woman. The oppo going to be spent right now. The apothecary with the cleaver of healing works out, no problem. Oh, the problem was that you had too many organs, you see. Let's just remove a couple of those. Now you're good to go. Get back out there. Turn 8 here with 1 minute 11 seconds to go for Conspicuous Disunion. They can still get on the board. They're going to try it. Here's the rush. Good pass to Hodag of a Horror. Handoff to the werewolf can get them on the board. It's a 3+ handoff. Let's go. There's the handoff. Has one more reroll. Good. Catch that. He's got to be a score. Conspicuous Disunion pulls it out here in turn 8. And takes the lead 1-0. Very well done using the pass to a handoff to cover a ton of ground and get on the board. That's right, perfect 8-turn stall. Just roll 6s. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? It is only game. One more turn left in the first half unless we have a timeout. The Wasabazons will be on offense. They'll be on offense to start the second half as well. Conspicuous Disunion setting up 3 on the line. You've got to put at least 3 on the line. You can put a max of 2 in either wide zone. Setting everyone else up just off the end zone here, just moving them back to safety. So that no casualties are taken here in the final turn. Three on the line, spread wide for the defense. Nothing to really do. Again, unless there's a timeout. If there's a timeout, then the Wasabazons are absolutely going to try to get on the board. Otherwise, they're just going to try to take these zombos off the pitch. One-man player advantage currently for Conspicuous Disunion. Everybody. All but 2 on the line here. Here's the kick. Will it be a timeout? Will we get our lost turn back? Gonna get one of these throwers under the ball here for the catch. It'll be a 50-50 catch. It will not be. It will be a blitz instead, but nobody's gonna blitz the line. Well, will somebody blitz the line? Nobody's gonna blitz the line. Good catch by the ballista. Nothing to do here but to block down the line, pass for some SPP, and if he's feeling frisky, maybe even foul a player. 2-die block on the left defensive end. This will be a knockdown. Looking for the 9+. Doesn't get it. Block number 2. Got the pal against minor 49er. Again, looking for a 9+. Doesn't get it. Final block of the half. On the right defensive end. Zombie, Zeke Jr., another pal. Can he stay on the pitch? He can indeed. Are the Wasabazons going to dare try to foul? If they are, it's almost certainly going to be the Caveman, where they currently have 4 assists. That's going to bring that armor value from a 9+ to a 5+. No foul. Look at that. Didn't even try to pass for some SPP. Wasabazons will be on offense to start the second half. They're down a touchdown after almost scoring on defense. And now Conspicuous Disunion to set up their proper defense. Squiggy McSquid says utterly disgusting lack of damage. Coming up after this game in a little under an hour from now, about 50 minutes from now, we're going to have game 2 of our doubleheader. It'll be the Rockettes versus Napanee Nightmare. Real Human versus Proud Star. That's Dwarves versus Chaos. Chaos Chosen. That'll be coming up after this game. If there's a gap in play, there's another game that will start at 9 o'clock p.m. We'll catch a little bit of that before we catch game number 2 of our doubleheader. Seaskin Squiggy McSquid demanding death. 1 star would not revisit. Conspicuous Disunion in a 3-4-4. Currently giving up both wide zones. 3 zombies on the line. Zombies not too bad, right? Their stat line, other than their movement, stat line's not too shabby. They're only 40k. They have regen, and having regen means you can get free zombies. When you are a regen team, if you kill certain players, basically anybody except for, some certain things like, being too strong or being stunty or whatever, when you kill an opposing player, you resurrect them to play on your team as a zombie. Squiggy McSquid says zombies are the best value player in the game. Changed my mind. I will certainly not try to change your mind. I agree. I don't think you can get more bang for your buck for 40k. All right, let's call this, I don't know, what do we want to call this? Call this a dagger formation. 3 on the line here for the defense. Pulling those cornerbacks tight into the linebackers, stacking the linebackers one on top of each other, trying to keep those werewolves safe. C said, I thought beer pigs were best value. Beer pigs are the best value if you can actually get beer. 9 on the line for the Wasabazons. 2 back to receive. They both have on the ball. We saw that briefly in drive number 2. On the ball gives you 3 spaces of free movement on a kick or a pass. Mobile beer and bacon. What's not to love? Now just 1 back to receive. Got to be careful with that. There is a kicker on the opposing team, which means that kicker that's going to make that kickoff a lot more accurate. They could park that ball in the corner, and then the Wasabazons will have to spend a turn chasing down the ball. Here's the kick. Yeah, parking it in the back left corner here. 3 spaces of movement for the ballista to try to get beside the ball. Maybe the ball will bounce into her hands. It will not. It's going to bounce the space back. Brilliant coaching. It's going to go to Conspicuous Disunion on the kickoff event. They're going to pick up a free reroll. Praise Nuffle. They're up to 4 rerolls now for the duration of the game. Turn 9 now for the Wasabazons. If you are new to Blood Bowl, you'll hear a lot of talk about the great Lord Nuffle, the god of chance. Wasabazons getting some protection here. Shamestone praying to Nuffle like we all should. Nuffle is a pronunciation of NFL. As he says, Nuffle, the angry god of petty vengeance. Hank the Ranger, welcome to the stream. Stand firm, push to start the half. Hank the Ranger says, so that means Chime's first block will be double skull, so he has to immediately spend the first free reroll. Whoa, broke armor on the Flesh Golem, got a stun out of this. Flesh Golem's with the strength of 10. Stood firm, did not have to be pushed back, and now a 2-die over on the right side works out. Anky Panky with the block skill. No armor break. C says, my game's going well, Nuffle. Hold my beer. Did I say strength of 10? I meant armor value of 10. So the stats on a player here, these are, it's kind of like an RPG, right? These players level up with experience points. Those experience points are called SPP, Star Player Points. They collect those for various things. You get Star Player Points for scoring a touchdown, for successfully passing the ball, for causing a casualty, among some other things. And then there are 5 stats on a player. You have their movement allowance, which we've discussed, their strength, which we've discussed. They also have their armor value, which we briefly discussed. Whenever you knock a player down, you have to roll a 2d6 against their armor value. If you meet or exceed that value, you've broken their armor, and then they roll in the injury table, which then may result in a casualty, and that's one last table to roll against. Their agility, this is one of the most important stats to really understand, because a lot of die rolls focus on this agility trait. Dodging, catching the ball. There's lots of things that revolve around agility. So an agility of 3+ says when you make an agility roll, such as dodging away, you roll a d6. If you get a 3 or higher, you succeeded that roll. And there are positive and negative modifiers for various actions that involve agility. And PA here, this is your passing ability, I think. And that is used solely for passing the ball. Wisdom of 10 pieces, just 150k wizard. Bad Dog says, in the last game I had 3 outright dead orcs by halftime. Oof. Ball safely in the hands of the Amazons. It's in the hands of Alien the Ballista, the thrower, on the Amazons' own 14-yard line. Cobblestorm says, no player has a high wisdom stat. They chose to play Blood Bowl after all. Shapeset says, Nuffle giveth to my opponent and taketh away from me. Amen. Says Nuffle, helping to simplify your choices. since 1972. Listen, all those players on your team, that's just too many decisions. Let me help you out, buddy. Let me give you 3 players. 2-die block against Blunder. It's going to be a both standing result or a push. Looks like it's going to be a push here. Two-die block against Ruby. This will be a POW. Breaks armor. Amazon's a brittle team with an AV of 8. 9 considered average. 8's a little brittle. Conspicuous Union in the lead here, so they don't have to get super aggressive. They can keep their defensive formation intact. Keeping your formation intact, very important in this game. At least often it's very important in this game. More important for some teams than others. That way, well, let's consider like a Dwarven team, right? Like, if you can keep your formation intact, you're going to have your players next to each other. They're going to get their assists. You probably have a lot of guard, right? You can hold the line, so to speak. If your formation starts to fall apart, then lanes start to open up. The opposing player, like if you're on defense, the opposing player, they open up a hole where there's no tackle zones. Maybe they can start funneling players through that hole, and now suddenly they're behind your defense, and your defense is playing catch-up, right? You often don't want that to happen. Certain teams, again, are more okay with that than others. Like a Dwarven team, if you get behind a Dwarven team, you're pretty much golden, depending on who you are. Bad Dog says, you know what, let's not consider a dwarf team. Turn 10 back to the Wasabazons. Still very sunny out here. So we saw a pass already. It was a -1 on the pass due to the sun being in the player's eyes. That has not changed for the second half. Taking a mark all the way up at the line here against Sea Beast, the number 8 zombie lineman here. He is a dirty player. The dirty player is gives you a +1 to your armor or your injury roll on fouls, whichever you need it for. So if you break armor naturally, you get a +1 on the injury roll. Blitz with the ball carrier, fails the rush, has to spend a reroll here. 2-die block. Boy, another reroll. 2 rerolls down in a single activation. Got the PAL this time against Sea Beast. Came in on the rush blitz, failed the rush. Failed that first die roll. 2 rerolls spent. The Wasabazons down to 1 reroll for the remainder of the game. Two-die against Deacon Creeper Carlswell, trying to clear this cage here. They will get a knockdown. Second failed die roll. Finally got a POW out of that with the blitzing ball carrier. The Wasabazons back on the bonus clock with 4 minutes, 17 seconds remaining. Trying to figure out what to do with the contingent on the left side here. They're going to stand... Whoa! Oh, they're going to stand up Blunder and do the 50-50 dodge like it's no problem. Got the assist for the 1-die block against Mr. Wickles. Gets a dodge push out of this. Another good dodge. Remember, they all have the dodge skill, so on dodges, they'll get a free reroll with the dodge skill. Unless they're up against that tackle player. Where is that tackle player? I don't see tackle anywhere on the pitch. Oh, there he is. Sea Beast over on the right side here. No, that's dirty player. Where's the tackle player? There he is. Cosgood creeps. Just hanging out. So Cosgood creeps can negate the dodge skill by marking somebody. And that works in your favor in two ways. Dodge gives you a free reroll on a dodge, on a failed dodge. It also makes the defender stumbles result safe. So the tackle skill turns both of those effects off. .36 seconds to go by Conspicuous Disunion. Second guessing the positioning of the number 14 Ghoul Runner. Rushes forward a space. That's pretty well said, I was going to call you Mr. McMackey. It's very well said, McMackey. McMackey says, dodge is so good. There's a whole skill to take it away, indeed. 2-die blitz in the left wide zone. This will be a push into a frenzy follow-up. Two-die frenzy follow-up is going to be a dodge push. That right there, that little blue exclamation point, oh no. That would have been a knockdown if you have the tackle skill. Double skulls. A reroll is spent. The reroll gifted by Nuffle into a push. Can't knock down Blunder. Blunder, one of a number of blodgers on this Amazon team. Now a foul. Boy, yeah, this ref is on point. He is a professional. An absolute pro. Tried to foul, got nothing out of the foul. The ref called it correctly. Chime tried to argue the call with the ref, and the ref said, no, look, that was a foul, man. You can't do that. You can't do that in the honorable, clean game of Blood Bowl. But ref, she's got a snake. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. McMackey says, yeah, he has integrity. I hope he falls into a wood chipper. Double pals here against the Wolf. Needs a 9+ to break armor. Be a huge removal if War Horseman can pull it off. Needs a 9+. Sidestepping back to the left. No armor break. Bad Dog says, I was gifted a painted goblin referee at Chaos Cup a few years ago. That's awesome. Two-die block against Cuthbert Crawls. Again, these wraiths have a foul appearance. You have to roll a d6 before that. That's what this roll is right here. If you roll a 1, the block attempt doesn't go through. You're so disgusted by them, you refuse to touch them. If that is your blitz, you have lost your blitz for your turn. Yeah, that's really cool, Bad Dog. That's super awesome. See, says Nuffle only gives gifts to take them back in humorous ways. Ball's going to shift laterally to the left wide zone. Just inside that left wide zone on the Wasabazons' own 2-yard line now. Tightening up this offensive formation. This defense, I think, is going to take advantage of that. A skull. The final reroll spent on a skull. Oh, got the block on Sea Beast, but now no more rerolls left for the Wasabazons. Rerolls are so important to this game because you're rolling a d6, right? We've talked about this probably 24 times in the past. But if I have a coin flip and I get to flip it twice and I need a head, I need heads on either one of those, that's a 75% chance, not the 50% on a 1, right? So that applies to the d6 as well, right? The D6, there's not a whole lot of options on a D6, right? Very similar to a coin flip. There's not a whole lot of options on a coin flip. And so a reroll is hugely beneficial. So when you have rerolls, the odds of your plays increase significantly, especially in this version of the rules, where you can spend a team reroll per die pool rather than one team reroll per turn. So you can make huge plays happen if you have, say, 3, maybe even 4 rerolls. Electric Man says, how many sides are on a D6? Depends how you want to define sides. Faces? There are 6 faces. Big Becky says, I'm such a big fan of the reroll change. Yeah, I thought that was great. Really, really, really smart, I thought. She says, a 4+ with a reroll is 75%. A 2+ with a reroll is 0%. 52 seconds ago here for Conspicuous Disunion. Electric Man says, what reroll change? Before the 2020 rules update, you could only spend 1 team reroll per turn. Now you can spend 1 team reroll per die pool. Per roll, basically. Well, I shouldn't say roll. Per die pool. So, for example, like we just saw, right? War Horseman was able to reroll a failed rush into a block that failed, and then re-rolled that block into a successful block. Before 2020, before the 2020 rule set, he wouldn't have been able to do that. He could have re-rolled one or the other, but not both. Yep, we're getting another major shakeup to the rules. Coming arguably this week, right? Did pre-orders go up yet? Blitz by the Werewolf. 1 die, blitz into a pow, please. That's Mr. Wickles you're talking about. Pow! Pow! That's a KO. A Mr. Wickles. Now marking the ball carrier with Mr. Wickles. Very scrummy game here. Onside kick in the first half was to blame for that. Now in the second half, it was Wasabazons running that ball up to the line of scrimmage and showing no fear, duking it out against this Necro team. Turn 12 now for the Wasabazons. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the new box set naturally, and I'm also gonna buy both issues of Spike magazine, and then I'm gonna check out the new rules, and if it really does mean one box, one team is one box, I will probably buy a few boxes of teams as well. Provided my local Warhammer store wants to sell me anything Blood Bowl related. Yeah, I'm curious too. Becky says Orcs may have a rough edition ahead of them. Oh no. Double skulls on the right side is a turnover against the Blodger. No more rerolls remaining. Turn 12 now for Conspicuous Disunion. Final turn of the third quarter. Clypheus, welcome to the stream. Good to have you. Thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Clypheus, the season 2 champion. Won with, was it Chorfs? I think it was Chaos Dwarves. That's right, Chaos Dwarves. I found a like a bag. I was cleaning out this weekend. I was just cleaning. I was cleaning junk out of various closets and things, and I found a bunch of extra Blood Bowl minis, and in one of the bags I had my pewter Chorfs in there, or my pewter Bull Centaurs rather. C said, did you get a quote on junk removal? No, but it turns out a friend of mine he moved into a new house, just had some junk removed, which from the exact same company that will be removing it from my house. And it turns out they charge by volume, and his volume was larger than mine, and he gave me a price that I'd be totally fine with. So I have a rough idea of how much they may charge. But no, I did not get a quote. They won't be out until later in the week. Team reroll and the frenzy follow-up to try to knock down the ball carrier. This will work out. Very well done. Mr. Wickles putting in some work. Yes, I just need to be quiet. I don't know. I've got to decide if I want them coming in the house to remove the junk, or if I want to like put all the junk outside for them. I really don't want to do all that work, but I don't know. Like, I mean, he had a lot more junk than I did. But it still feels like a lot of junk. Like, it's a lot of stuff. Turn 13 now for the Wasabazons. Fourth and final quarter begins. They've just lost the ball. They're down 0-1. They need to protect this ball somehow. They can't let a werewolf grab this ball. Can't let a werewolf or a ghoul runner grab this ball and run away. If they do, then the Wasabazons are going to be in real trouble here. Electric Man says, was his junk outside? He said he had some inside and some outside. He said they were really great, and that's cool, but I don't want them, I don't know. I don't want them like coming in and out, leaving the door open and stuff. Well done, Iron Cynic. Welcome to the stream. That is another failed block here. Null turn by War Horseman. And now Conspicuous Disunion on turn 13 has a very real opportunity to grab this ball and run away. Clears the ball, breaks armor. Great armor break as well, just in case this ball pickup goes awry. This is the danger of running out of team rerolls. Two-die block against the Ballista gets a POW. Probably going to try to pick it up with Count Ivalo von Meanskreed. 7 SPP versus 4 on a level 3. Yeah, I think he's going to try to get 3 SPP on number 14 here. Indeed, it looks to be the play. He says, when does a ball pickup ever fail? Not when you roll 6s. That's for sure. Good recovery here and runs the ball down to the opposing 16-yard line. T-9 block back at the line of scrimmage will be a pal looking for some SPP. Clevy says, can anyone get at the Gould? No, I don't think so. So the jump up, the yellow circles are the blitzers with jump up. So there's, well, yeah, Black Moon can get there for sure. The Fury can get there on a rush. But Black Moon's currently marked with, well, they have a free reroll. Ten seconds ago for Conspicuous Disunion. Trying desperately to try to get some protection of the ball here. Fails a dodge. Spends a reroll. There's the second very important player to try to protect this ball carrier. So now these two players here are exerting tackle zones thusly. I may have just killed someone. Wasabazons have to pray to Nuffle here. Clypheus, thank you very much for the bits. Wasabazons really have no choice here but to make a big play and pray to Nuffle. I suppose they could try to mark Count Lavala on Means Creek, but they don't have somebody with tackle. So it's just going to be a free dodge with a reroll. Well, a free dodge. I guess he doesn't need the reroll on the dodge per se, but he could use it on the potential blitz. Why the follow-up? Pushed the werewolf out of the way, but then followed up. So now can't mark the ball carrier without a dodge, a rush dodge, or a rush to a rush dodge. Failed 3+ dodge by Black Moon. Turn 14 for Conspicuous Disunion. They can just walk this ball into the end zone. They have a reroll remaining. They will probably take some blocks first until that reroll is spent. Not going to score. It's going to try to stall this out for a turn. Parks the ball right outside the 24-yard line. Looking to pick up 3 more SPP on Count Ivalo von Means Creek. T-Die blitz. Gets a dodge push. Oh, gets the knockdown thanks to tackle. Cosgood Creeps came out of nowhere. 9+ breaks armor. Got the armor break. That is huge. Huge armor break. And now Conspicuous Disunion can comfortably stall. He's got a knife. Well, last time I pegged where Cosgood Creeps was, he was way over the right wide zone. T-9 block back to the line of scrimmage, gets a push. Results in a stand firm. Another T-9 block, double pals this time against Hanky Panky, but no armor break. Trying to mark some down players. Looks to stall this out. Maybe for one more. Oh, going for the foul. Foul in the down player. Got the removal and did not get called off the pitch. Oh man. He was like, hey man, Hey man, we're gonna score. We're gonna score. Look over there. We're about to score. Look over there. Just look over there real quick. We're about to score. Cleat to the face. Conspicuous Disunion continuing to keep the protection on the ball carrier. Looks like they want to stall this out for one more turn before scoring. Two-die blocks a push against Cuthbert Crawls. This is back in no man's land. This is looking for some SPP at this point. A little over a minute to go for the Wasabazons. Not a whole lot they can really do to get back into this ball game. Two-die block against the number 11 Wraith. We'll get a pal here. Perhaps can get some SPP out of this. Is an injured Wraith. No. 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 Doesn't proc hit and run. Stays right where they are. Why not, though? There's plenty of movement left. Hit and run would have been a free movement. Clivey says, foul the Wraith. Maybe, but it's just one assist. Oh, all right. Hey, shows what I know. Good foul. Got the removal on the Wraith. Turn 15 now for Conspicuous Disunion. I don't think they mind too much. At this point, that's a safe Wraith. Violence needs no excuse. Conspicuous Disunion. Oh, doesn't want to score with the ghouls. Going to hand off to the werewolf instead. It is Big Bob Oakley Esquire who's going to score on turn 16 and pick up his first 3 SPP. A foul on the star player. We've just devolved into pure treachery. Tit for tat. A foul for a foul. $35 seconds to go. Here's the blitz. 2-9 blitz. This will be a both standing result against Ruby. Oh, he's going to spend the final team reroll. It says, why not? Got the pal here. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. Is anybody active? No. Or anybody yet to activate? That's right. War dancers, witch elves, werewolves, and whatever else is on the ground. Both stand firm here against. Nope. Captain Cutler's going to get pushed aside. It looks like there was another block attempt. Minute 18 to go here in turn 16 for the Wasabazons. I think they go for the Black Moon Blitz. The old Black Moon Blitz, I think, is the play, right? So Black Moon with jump up That's a 3+. And then it's a rush and then a rush blitz. Here it comes. Let's go. There's the dodge. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And they can move one space towards the ball with hit and run. Can't do anything about it, but might be able to stop the score here, which is in fact important for standings. Squeaky McSquid says, God, I hate Amazon so much. So very, very much. Turn 16 now for Conspicuous Disunion. I think they're going to try to blitz away Black Moon and then try to recover this ball. It'll be a 3+ to score. After the block, that is. Blocked by Cosgood Creeps with tackle. Or blitzed by Cosgood Creeps, I should say. That's enough. Gets the knockdown here. A push would have been fine as well. Breaks armor, doesn't get a casualty out of it. A 3+ means this game ends 2-0. There it is. Well done. Conspicuous Disunion wins the game 2-0. Very, very well done. And that's going to do it for game number 1 this evening. Conspicuous Disunion takes this one 2-0. Congratulations to Chime. With that victory, they're going to be at the top of the leaderboard in Division A. Congratulations once again. We're going to head over to Division C. Actually, that game doesn't start for about 11 minutes. Let's see. I think we're going to stay in Division A. That's what we're going to do.